We have had an absolutely killer week full of eBay sales. I'm super excited to show you guys what's sold, and we have a lot of other things we gotta get done here today. So it's going to kind of be one of those episodes where we're gonna be doing a little bit of everything. Unfortunately, I was planning on doing a whole video where we're gonna see how many video games we could list in one day, but I'm gonna have to postpone that until next week as I've had so much stuff come up. I've been absolutely just busy like crazy. You guys have no idea. So we've got quite a few orders here today that we need to get packed up right off the bat. We've got quite a few things that came back to me or were received by me in my PO box. So I've got to take a look at those. And then also we have just a bunch of other stuff to do. We've got Value Village Hall that we've got to look over, a few other things. So I'm really excited to get into it all. Then I'm going to try to answer also some of you guys most frequently asked questions over the last little bit. We'll do a little bit of catching up with you guys, and I'm hoping that will make for a fairly entertaining video here. It's a little all over the place, but I'm still excited about it. If you guys are new to the channel and enjoy seeing content just like this, be sure to subscribe. Also leave a like on the video if you enjoy it. And with that, let's jump right into things. I want to show you guys what I was able to sell over the last couple days. Okay guys, so here's the first look at everything that's going out today. Now we have quite a few interesting items here that I'm excited to talk about. First of all, being this Insignia remote. This one actually came with a Shaw Direct remote that I purchased, and this was in the bundle. So I thought this was just garbage, redonate it, but actually ended up listing it and we got $25 for it shipped. That's going pretty close. It'll cost me about $9 to ship it, so we'll make some good money on that, and it was basically a free item, so I'm excited about that sale. Let's talk about this big guy. This is a Yamaha Natural Sound Graphic Equalizer EQ70. I purchased this at Value Village for $15, I believe, about maybe 2 weeks ago or so, and we sold it for quite a bit of money. It is tested and working, and it's quite a unit. It's actually going to be not too bad to ship out. You can see it's actually not as big as it looks. It's quite a good size. So I'm excited about this unit. I really didn't think there was that much money in it, so I was very surprised when Val called me and told me that he had accepted an offer for whatever the price is on the screen. Very interesting though, and glad that that's something else I'll be adding to my list, and glad that we were able to sell that. Moving on here, we have a Panasonic phone that sold for $25. Nothing special there. A 470 unit, one of my favorite ones to sell. Then in addition to that, we sold this PlayStation 4 controller for $10 that was not working. Probably wasn't the best pickup, but we were so curious about these things. So hey, I think we paid $5. Sold it for $10. We'll make a little bit in there in between the fees. So what the heck? It's kind of a fun thing to find. And you can't pass up a PlayStation 4 controller at Value Village for $5. Anyway, that was that. Over here under this stuff are a couple games that are going out. First of all, we have Black for the Xbox. And then we have Madden 08 for the Wii. Only a couple there. As you can see, we really need to get listing on that other stuff. I'm really excited to do it. I just have not had any time. But I'm very much excited to get going on listing as many games as we can one day. Get the store back running at full capacity, because we've been cutting it down here quite a bit, and we need more stuff listed. Anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and get all of this stuff packed up right now. I was going to do a time lapse, but it's actually not going to be that interesting with these big items, so I'm just going to go ahead and do it, and then I'll show you guys it all when it's all packed up. Okay, and just like that, I've finished packing everything up. So this stuff's all ready to now be dropped off at the post office, but there was one more thing that I wanted to talk about. So we actually made a pretty cool sale of a unique item, and a lot of you guys might not know this, but Val being my partner in our combined business, we sell a lot of different things, and he actually has about half the inventory over at his place. So he's always shipping out the other half of the sales that you guys don't see on this channel. So you should always be checking out his channel to see the other things that we sold. But I don't usually bring them up in this video because I figure you guys are going over there and seeing them. But I do want to bring this one up because it was pretty cool. So I'm going to throw it up on the screen right here. This was a Pikachu Game Boy. It was a limited edition one, I suppose, or an exclusive Pokemon version of the Game Boy Advance SP that we sold for $325. We ended up buying it from somebody that he got a connection through for a fairly reasonable price, so we were pretty happy with that sale right there. More on his channel about that if you're interested in it, but I figured I'd bring that one up because I thought that was a pretty unique find and a pretty unique sale. Okay, with that, time for this stuff to go to the post office, and then we'll take a look at some stuff that I've actually just received in. Okay guys, so I just got this in the mail today, and this is supposedly a parcel that was kind of a gift trade kind of situation. Somebody sent this to me to ideally sell, and I sent them back a game that they were interested in. So really excited to see what's in here. Let's go ahead and open it up. Okay, and we are now open, and let's take a look at what's inside of here. The person did mention that it was going to be a Wii, but I didn't know what else would be included. But check it out. We've got the cables here, the power cable and the AV cable. And then of course down here, it looks like we have the console itself, which is very exciting. So let's go ahead here and pull that out. And look at that. That's a very nice condition Wii. So thanks so much for sending this to me. You know who you are, and I really appreciate that. And we're going to have a lot of fun testing this guy and hopefully getting it listed on eBay. Okay, and so the other two things here that I got back, unfortunately, were not sent to me on purpose. These were returned to me from Brazil. Now, this is something that Araval and I have both been talking about, and this is why I wanted to bring it up in today's video. So I've been getting a few parcels back here and there now from Brazil because of this. Object sent without an S10 code. An S10 code, I believe, is essentially the new Brazil method of taxing or doing import charges on people ordering things. And for whatever reason, it was never a problem before, but now they're really clamping down on it. So I've had a lot of parcels and issues with the S10 codes. So oftentimes when you are have a buyer that's purchasing something from Brazil, make sure that they're either providing you with the correct S10 code, or I believe in some cases you can look it up and set it. I'm not 100% sure as to how they work, but I'm gonna have to reach out to this buyer obviously and get this sorted out with them. Actually, I don't know, is this 2 different buyers? Let me check here off camera. It is actually 2 different buyers. So that's not good, but no S10 codes to Brazil. Big problem, but anyway. Okay guys, so it's time to move on to a Value Village haul that I recently picked up that I wanted to share with you guys, so let's jump right into that. So the first thing out of this bag, guys, is actually this bag of remotes. And the remote that I wanted out of this one, by the way, I paid $2.99. The remote that I wanted out of this one was this Harmony remote. It had a little screen in it. I thought it looked super interesting, so I looked it up online, and sure enough, that one was worth, I think, about $40. There's also a couple other ones here that might be worth something. I did not look those up, but we'll see. Last time I bought a bag of remotes, we made out like bandits on the other remotes that were included in the bag. We will follow that bag up with another bag of remotes, and the remote that I wanted there is that Technics remote. Of course, those ones are often worth quite a bit of money. I'm guessing we'll get about $30 for that. An RCA and a V-Trek remote are also included in there. Probably not worth anything, but hey, we might be able to get a few bucks for them, but that Technic one is what I'm looking for. I have a big, huge Panasonic bundle for $9.99. All the phones are in there and all the bases. I've actually stopped buying phone bundles for the moment. This was a few weeks ago, I guess, or a couple weeks ago that I actually bought this lot, and I'm only showing it to you guys now because I kind of forgot I had it. I had it stowed away, and I was like, hey, there's something I could throw in the video. But I, unfortunately, am not buying these anymore because we have so many of them. And I think it's just taking up too much space right now. And we just had to clear some out before I buy more. I'm not saying that the phones are a bust. I'm not saying that you shouldn't buy them. There's definitely lots of money in them. You guys saw we sold one today, but they're just not selling fast enough to the rate that I'm buying them. So we need to chill out a little bit and just focus on picking up other things. So I haven't been picking up too many phones recently, but this was one of the bigger bundles and the last things I picked up. I still think for $9.99, if you're just getting into it, this is still a great pickup. But for me, I've just got too many of them now. So this will be added to the collection. We'll get them listed, but that's probably it for the time being. Next up, guys, we actually picked up this iPod. This is, I believe, an iPod Shuffle, I want to say. It's got a case on it. It was $19.99. I'm hoping that it works, and if it does, we're probably looking at about $60 for it. Not a huge flip because I paid so much for it. If it was cheaper, it would have been better. I'm trying to get it open here. Here we are, guys. Here it is. As you can see, it's in pretty good shape. There's no cracks on it. That's just a mark or a fingerprint. But anyway, or actually, no, there's the original screen film or protectors on it, which is even better. But yeah, it's just marked. Anyway, yeah, there's the iPod. And again, about $60 or so. I've got the cables for it, so we're going to test it out, and hopefully we'll be able to sell that quickly. Now, a lot of people are going to criticize me for this pickup. This is an Xbox 360 remote that if it would focus or get not exposed, there we go, $14.99 I paid on it. That's crazy. That is way too much for these guys. However, we have been getting a lot of Xboxes in, and I've been trying to bundle them up, and these definitely help add value to the Xboxes. They're probably worth that though. 15 bucks is what they're worth. So I was just considered that I'm buying them to include into bundles at the price I would be paying elsewhere for them, versus I'm actually trying to make profit on this, because I'm not. I'm just trying to use these to move the bundles better. Hopefully this one will be good. It looked to be in perfect aesthetic condition, and I also wouldn't pick one up if it wasn't for this price. Hoping that it will work, but if not, I mean, it kind of would suck. But $14.99 for an Xbox 360 controller, way too much. Don't ever pay this much if you're looking to flip them. But if you want to throw them in a bundle, like I did here, I went ahead and picked it up. Now I'm going to get in major trouble for these ones too. $14.99 a piece, out of their minds at Value Village for black Wii controllers. Now, luckily for me, these have the coverings. They're both in really good shape. I did open them up and check for corrosion in the store in these bags. And yeah, so 30 bucks is what I have in these guys. They go for about 50 combined. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to sell them like that or if I'm going to just put them in bundles. I know I'm paying up a little bit here for some basically replacement remotes. Wasn't super happy with this price, but I had to pick them up because they were in such good condition. And again, because I can use them in bundles, or we can sell them separately, and either way, we're going to make money on them. Finally, guys, we picked up Just Dance 2018 for the Wii U. Couldn't tell you what this one was worth because I don't remember now, but I did pick it up, which means it was probably worth something. What do we pay on that one? Oh, actually, I got a good discount on all this stuff, too. Oh, that's right. I didn't actually end up paying $14.99 for those remotes. I ended up actually paying, let's see here, $10.49 for them, I believe. Yeah, that's what I actually ended up paying. And I was gonna say I thought I paid a little high on those, but that is why. I ended up getting a little discount on them as well. So realistically, I paid 10 for the Xbox and 10 for each one of those Wii controllers because I got a discount on the entire thing. Always look for those discounts, guys. Bring something to donate, or if you don't have an account set up with them, you can set up an account, and certain stores will allow you to use points there. When you spend, I think it's like $100, you get some points or whatever it is. And then you can use those points for, I believe this is 30% off or 25% off. So pretty good right there, and definitely something that you should look into. But yeah, picked up this Wii game, $4.99 down to $3.49. So that's what we paid for that guy. And I couldn't tell you what it was worth again, but it is going to be worth over 10 probably if I picked it up. Okay, so I'm going to hop into a quick few questions I've been getting really frequently recently that I feel like I should address here. Real quick, none in specific, but just some general things I've been hearing a lot of. So one of the main questions I've gotten here when we were going through the major testing phase of all the video games that we were testing is how far into the testing do I go? Do you actually, start up the game and run it and play through it? Do you play through a couple levels? Or do you just simply put it in and see if it reads without even launching the game? Do you take it to the start screen? Or do you not test it at all? Do you just put it through JFJ and assume it works? Well, that's a very good question. And there's a few ways that people like to do it. Obviously, if I was to go through and play through, start the game and do a level, it would take way too long and there would be no money in it. So the essential way that I break it down is that I run majority of the games that I test to the start screen. So you start up the game, you make sure it goes to the start screen, and that's considered tested in my view. There is the occasional time when I'll get a batch of games or a certain number of them that are in such pristine brand new condition. Oftentimes these are like PlayStation 3 games or some of the more tougher games like the Blu-ray games. And if they're in really good shape or like new condition, I will just put them to the home screen and make sure that they read. But that's very rare. Most of the games I test go right to the start screen. And for anything that goes to the JFJ, Easy Pro definitely goes right to the start screen. So hopefully that answers that question. Okay, another thing that's been asked to me ever since we did a few of those Lego videos back when is how do you know if a Lego set is complete when you're shopping for them at Value Village? Well, the answer is you don't when they're at Value Village. But the handy thing about Lego is that when you look up on their website, you can actually find the set number for any set. So I should backtrack a little bit. For all the sets that you find in Lego, you can actually find the set number online if you know generally what the set is. So just describe the set into Google and you'll find the set number. Once you have the set number, you can go onto lego.com, you can enter the set number and you can find the instruction manual for it. And then with that instruction manual, it'll have right at the end of it all the pieces that are included with that set, and you can cross-check that against all of the pieces that you have. Or you could do what we've been doing and just simply open up the instruction booklet and build through the set, and that will tell you if you're missing any pieces. That also provides you with a complete set to take photos of when you're going to list the item. I know it's a little bit more time consuming, you have to kind of have fun with it. For the most part, if you don't care about, putting a piece together and you don't want to cross-check everything, you can just list the set as incomplete. But for our sake, we just went ahead and built them. And it didn't take too long. The sets were worth quite a bit more money. And for the most part, we ended up making money on that time that it took us to build them because we were able to list them with a certain number of pieces or with the pieces that weren't included. Okay, finally here, guys, I want to cover a question I've been getting a lot of regarding sourcing at Value Village and other thrift stores. And this is, how do you actually know what to buy? A lot of it actually comes down to experience and things that I've sold in the past, but a lot of it also, for the most part, every trip I'll find something new. A lot of it is knowing what to search for, how to search, and how to know if something sells well. You guys probably know this by now, but eBay has a feature where you can select sold and completed listings. So if you find something that you're unfamiliar with at Value Village that you think may have value, which is kind of what we look for, you can pull it up on eBay and you can go ahead and simply search it, check the solds and completes, and see how often that item is selling and for how much money the item is selling for. Now, when you're starting, you might not have any clue at all as to what items, even stand out or what you should be looking up. For example, in the electronic section, you just look at a lot of big electronic boxes and you're not sure which ones may even have value. And that's when I would say to you that you should sit at Value Village for a day. Just plan a day when you're starting out and sit there and look up every single item that's there and see what they're all worth. That will give you a very good general sense of what the prices are for everything, and likely you'll end up finding something that we would have probably missed because we don't sit there and look up everything. Regardless though, those are some of my favorite ways to go out and actually find prices on things. Of course, with video games, I just pull up price charting and I can find the average price that way. But for the rest of them, I'm either just looking out for things that stand out to me, or I'm looking for things that I picked up in the past and previously sold, or that I already know the value on. And that keeps it pretty simple. I'm always looking for new items, but that's the way that I would go about it. With that, guys, we are actually going to wrap up today's video there. And I know it was, again, all over the place, but hopefully you guys did find some value in it and enjoyed it and just sort of enjoyed hanging out down here in the office for a day. But I'm going to wrap things up there. Again, any questions, comments, anything that you want me to reply to, or any other ththings that you might be curious about, be sure to leave them down below. Leave a like on the video again if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you are new. I will see you guys all in the next video.